Allison from Financial Flamingo. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing 5 tips to get you ready for tax season. So if you don't know, I am actually a CPA. I work in public accounting. I used to work in tax. I no longer do. I am now an auditor, but I have several busy tax seasons under my belt in public accounting. So I have some tips for you on getting your stuff ready and prepping to take all of your tax documents to your accountant and how you can stay organized and on top of tax season. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So first off, being a CPA, I am going to say that I do recommend, if you have some more documents than just a W-2, to actually go to an accountant to get your taxes done. They know the laws and the rules and all those types of things a lot better than you can, even with doing research, and they can get you more deductions that you might not even know about. So I do recommend taking your stuff to an accountant if you don't already. I do understand that that costs money, and if you're tight on funds or if you just have a really simple tax return, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it yourself. But if there is something a little more complicated or you're really just not sure at all what the heck you're doing, I do recommend taking your stuff to an accountant. So now that we have that out of the way, all the tips in this video are kind of going to be based on the idea that you are taking your stuff to an accountant. So if you are not, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know down below. But I mean, I'm not your CPA, so I can't give you, you know, like specific financial advice, but I can give you some tips or ideas if you are doing things yourself. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions, but let's go ahead and get right into the tips. So tip number 1, your documents are coming out now. Okay, so in January is when most people's W-2s, 1099s, all the documents from all the different, you know, financial institutions, though most of those come out in January. Some of them come out a little bit later, I know, but for most people that have a really simple tax return, most of your documents are coming out now. So when they come in the mail, keep them together, keep them organized, don't throw them away, otherwise you'll have to call for new copies, and that's just a pain that you don't want to deal with. So when you get stuff in the mail, have a folder, have a drawer, have a spot where you put everything and just keep it for when you're going to take it to your accountant. This will just make your life easier so you don't lose things, your accountant won't have to ask you for things, and you can just be ready to go to get your taxes filed in a timely manner. Alright, so tip number 2 is to have stuff organized for your accountant. So again, I don't work in taxes anymore, but I did work several tax seasons, and honestly, it's annoying, frankly, when a client brings something in and their stuff is like, you know, just shoved in a grocery bag and there's 1099s on the front and 1099s on the back and the W-2s in the middle. Like, I know you don't know what order stuff needs to be in to fill out a tax return, but it will make things go a lot smoother for your accountant doing your return if you know you put all the 1099s together, all the W-2s together, all the receipts together, like everything that you're bringing to your accountant, just kind of group it together of the same type of document. It'll make things a lot easier for them. It could make your return take a lot less time to prepare, which could mean it's a little cheaper for you. It kind of just depends on how your accountant bills, but that's really just a tip to make your accountant like you more. I mean, they have so much going on during tax season that it's really just annoying when you know, they're working a 11 or 12 hour day and they have to dig through your box of stuff because you couldn't even put it facing the same direction. So that's just a tip to make your accountant's life easier, and honestly, it'll make your life easier too because you'll know that you have all your documents together. So that is tip number 2 on this list. All right. Tip number 3, again, this is kind of for your accountant. So when you take your stuff to an accountant, usually they send out an organizer or give you an organizer to fill out when you give your documents, if that makes sense. So that's usually something that's given to the tax preparer along with all your documents that has all of your relevant financial information that has to go on your tax return. So fill it out, okay? It's gonna make your tax return get done so much faster. It's gonna be so much easier to get done. You'll have a quicker turnaround time if you just, you know, look through that, fill it out. You know all the answers. If you don't, you're gonna have to look it up anyways when your accountant asks you the question. So just go ahead, take the time to fill it out. I know it's usually a thick packet, but that is stuff that your accountant really does need to know to fill out your return. So fill that out. Like I said, your return will get done probably a lot quicker because your accountant won't have to keep coming back to you to ask you questions that they don't have the answer to, because not everything that an accountant needs to know for a tax return is in those documents that they give. There's other details that they need to know as well. So fill out your organizer. Tip number 4, this is 3. Tip number 4, if you own a business, make sure to take all relevant information to your accountant when you take all of your personal stuff. So, for example, I have expenses, expense receipts, I should be getting some 1099s, all those different documents that you'll get that kind of relate to different business expenses and income and those types of things. Make sure that you keep those organized, keep all those documents together, and take those to your accountant as well, because that stuff does have to be filed. Most of the time, I mean, talk to your accountant if you need to file that sort of thing if it's a new business, but just keep it organized. Like I said, put the same types of documents together. Keep it all together, take it to your accountant so that they can do a full, get a full overview of your business and make sure to include everything relevant, get you all the deductions that you are eligible for, and just generally do all the things that need to be done to file a business return along with your personal return. Going along with this, make sure that if you have a business that you do have an accountant that you're going to. There is a lot of different things that go into business taxes and making good decisions on growing your business and what kind of business to file as. All those different things can have tax implications, so make sure you do have a good accountant that you trust that you're going to help you make those decisions. It does cost, you know, it's a business expense. It does cost money to go talk to an accountant about these things, but it really can save your business money in the long run. On tax related things, make sure that you're doing what you're actually legally supposed to be doing in terms of the IRS and what you can claim, those types of things. So make sure you do have a good accountant that you're going to make sure that you're making the best informed decisions for your business. And then finally, tip number 5, make sure that if you take your stuff to your accountant and they're calling you to ask follow-up questions or they send you an email, make sure you get that information back to them as quickly as possible. Otherwise, it's just going to delay your return that much longer. It's going to take you longer to get your refund if you have one, and it's just going to make it a more drawn out process. I mean, most of us don't really understand everything going on in tax season. That's why we have somebody else do it. And that can just, you know, draw out the process on something that you really just want to, you know, get done at the beginning of the year and move on. So make sure you're responding. They don't want to just sit there and hold on to your tax return for 2 months because you couldn't respond about, I don't know, your correct social security number or something because you wrote it down wrong. I don't know. There's so many things little details that get overlooked in those types of things when doing tax returns. So if your accountant has questions, make sure that you just follow up in a timely manner and you'll get your tax return done in a timely manner as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this gave you some good tips on preparing for tax season. I know this was more about how to help your accountant, but helping your accountant do your tax return will help you get it done faster. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment if you have any questions or comments, and all of the relevant links to my website, financialflamingo.com, and all of my social media will be linked down below. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hey everyone, my name is Allison from Financial Flamingo. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I cannot talk.